Most people don't struggle because life is cruel. They struggle because they are at war with reality. They want the world to bend, people to behave, outcomes to guarantee comfort. Stoicism begins where that fantasy ends. It is not a philosophy of optimism, nor is it cold detachment. It is a brutal, calming clarity about what you control, what you never will, and how much suffering comes from confusing the two. The first lesson Stoicism teaches is almost offensive in its simplicity. You do not control events. You control your response. That sounds obvious until you actually try to live it. Traffic ruins your mood. A text left unanswered feels like rejection. A single comment lingers in your mind for days. None of those things are the event. They are interpretations. Stoicism does not tell you to suppress emotion. It tells you to interrogate it. Ask yourself whether the pain is coming from what happened or from the story you attached to it. Once you see that difference clearly, life begins to lose its grip on you. The second lesson follows immediately. Most of what you worry about never happens. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and modern anxiety proves him right daily. The mind loves rehearsing disasters. It treats possibility as inevitability. Stoicism does not calm you by promising things will work out. It calms you by reminding you that even if they don't, you will still be here. Still breathing. Still capable of response. Fear shrinks when you stop treating uncertainty as a threat and start seeing it as a neutral condition of being alive. A third lesson Stoicism offers is uncomfortable but freeing. People are not obligated to understand you, appreciate you, or treat you fairly. Expecting them to is the fastest way to resentment. Marcus Aurelius warned himself every morning that he would encounter selfishness, ignorance, and cruelty, not because he was cynical, but because he was realistic. When you expect perfection, you feel personally attacked by normal human behavior. When you expect imperfection, you stop taking things personally. That shift alone can save you years of emotional exhaustion. The fourth lesson cuts even deeper. Your ego is the source of most of your pain. Not confidence, not self-respect, but the fragile identity you defend constantly. The need to be admired. The need to be right. The need to be seen as important. Stoicism asks you to shrink that identity, not to disappear, but to become lighter. When insult no longer threatens your sense of self, it loses its power. When praise no longer defines you, it stops controlling you. Freedom begins the moment your worth no longer depends on external validation. The fifth lesson is about time, and it is merciless. You are wasting it. Not because you are lazy, but because you assume you have more than you do. Stoics thought about death not to become morbid, but to become precise. When you remember that your time is finite, trivial drama feels embarrassing. Petty arguments feel expensive. Procrastination feels dishonest. Memento mori is not a slogan. It is a lens that forces you to ask whether the way you are living today deserves the limited days you have left. The sixth lesson is one modern culture avoids at all costs. Discomfort is not the enemy. Avoidance is. Stoics practiced voluntary hardship, cold, hunger, silence, not to punish themselves, but to train their nervous system. When you stop panicking at discomfort, life stops intimidating you. You realize you can survive less comfort than you thought. That realization builds a quiet confidence no motivational speech can give you. The seventh lesson reframes success entirely. External achievements are indifferent. Wealth, status, reputation, they are not bad, but they are not good either. What matters is how you obtain them and how you hold them. If success makes you anxious, arrogant, or dependent, it has already failed you. Stoicism measures a good life by character, not outcome. You can lose everything and still remain intact. You can gain everything and still be hollow. That distinction changes how you chase goals. The eighth lesson forces you to confront your habits of complaint. Stoicism teaches radical responsibility, not blame. If something can be changed, act. If it cannot, accept it. Complaining without action is emotional self-harm. It keeps you stuck in a loop where you feel involved without actually doing anything. Stoics believe dignity comes from directing energy toward what is possible, not rehearsing what is unfair. The ninth lesson is subtle but transformative. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts appear. They do not arrive with truth guaranteed. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. Just because a thought feels urgent does not mean it deserves obedience. Distance creates choice. When you observe your mind instead of merging with it, emotional storms lose their authority. You stop being dragged by every impulse and start choosing who you are in each moment. The 10th lesson concerns relationships. Love people without clinging to them. Appreciate them without possession. Everything you love is temporary, including you. Stoicism does not dull love. It purifies it. When you stop trying to own people emotionally, you become more present, not less. You stop fearing loss so intensely that it poisons connection. You love fully because you accept impermanence, not despite it. The 11th lesson addresses anger. Anger feels powerful, but it is a loss of control disguised as strength. Stoics saw anger as a momentary madness. It promises justice but delivers regret. When you delay reaction, when you create space between stimulus and response, anger dissolves into something more useful: clarity. The strongest people are not those who react quickly, but those who choose deliberately. The 12th and final lesson is the quietest, but perhaps the most important. Live according to principle, not mood. Motivation fades. Discipline fluctuates. Circumstances shift. Principles remain. Stoicism is not about feeling good. It is about being good, consistently, even when no one is watching, even when it costs you something. That is where self-respect is built. Stoicism will not make your life easy. It will make it honest. It strips away illusions that comfort you temporarily and replaces them with truths that steady you permanently. If you apply even a few of these lessons seriously, not as quotes, not as aesthetics, but as daily practice, your life will change. Not dramatically. Quietly. And quietly is how real transformation always begins.